right, what do you got?
I think I can prove to a judge that both of these men had the mens rea.
What the hell is a mens rea?
It's a legal term the lawyers use. It just means the intention to commit a crime.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Mens rea?
Put the cuffs on him.
How could we have gotten mens rea? We take blood? Can you do it without taking blood? We both use condoms. How is this possible? I want to see a doctor. Can I have an independent blood test?
Money!
I feel sick.
What are you doing?
Mens rea! Oh! Oh! My God!
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are we doing? It is time. It's time for a new trial. I've been keeping this one a little bit close to the vest. Defense made a motion for a mistrial. Prosecutor was up to some fuckery. Potentially damaging evidence, no basis for it. The judge specifically said, do not ask that question. Do not use that as evidence. She walked right down the path and asked the question. It may be over on Tuesday morning. Batman Bruce Wayne bitch snitch. Gerald Brooks, your constitution does not apply to me because I'm a sovereign citizen, a traveler on the land, I'm a Moorian empire or whatever, bitch snitch. Because they're so fucking absurd. If you want to be a sovereign citizen, just do yourself a favor first. Go to YouTube here and just get every sovereign citizen that's ever been before. Find me one that won. God dang, you're right. Don't go down this. It's not the path. Don't have time for stupidity. Some clever dick on the internet didn't find the great loophole in all of the world's law. Bitch snitch. God dang, you're right. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. God dang, you're right. Moorish empire. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. Moorish empire. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. The late evening U.S. people. Don't panic. That's not the new intro. That's the new outro. Oh yeah, that's been a while coming. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everybody, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, etc., etc. Welcome to the new Friday time slot. We'll talk about that in just a quick second. But yeah, that's the new, I think, kind of sometimes outro. I have to take a bathroom break or whatever we need that for. That's what that's there for. That's been a while coming. The very quick story that the audio is from, I think, my first or second appearance on Lincoln Kane's channel. It was just from the discussion we were having. One of his guys is a music guy. He took that, sampled it, created the music. He created the song for that, and then my super mysterious editor dude took it and put the montage to it, and that's the result. So there we go. That's what we're looking at here. That's the whenever we need it, why ever we need it kind of thing. Righto. Anyway, I promise we're not going to have a 3-minute intro every day. I'm not Megan Fox. I'm not Flashcast. We want to get in as quickly as possible. That's what she said. Anyway. All right. Just throw that out there. That it'll be the new whatever it is. We'll use it when we can.
Yeah, more information.
But right now, I just want to say thanks. It's time to dust off the Becky files, the Becky Hill files, because the Murdaugh case is moving forward. There's going to be a hearing on January 29th. January 29th is the hearing on the Becky Hill incident. So that should be interesting. So we got to start dusting off the documents and getting back into the Murdaugh swing of things. But first, what do we got? That's like about the 8th time I've said, but first, what's coming up? This is your quick little weekend preview here. The weekend preview says that we have got tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me, it'll be, I guess tomorrow for people. I don't know. What the hell? Anyway, Sunday morning U.S. time, Sunday evening Asia time, we'll be doing the January members only stream. That'll be at the usual time of 9 a.m. Eastern. So take care to put that on your calendar. Monday is going to be Maritime Monday. We're going to be revisiting the tragic case of the Penley lifeboat disaster. We just passed the anniversary. It happened in 19th of December in 1981. Let's see, Tuesday we're going to be doing some more deep dive on the Clayton Eckert Jane Doe double pregnancy scandal situation. Wednesday is going to be Gregory Anderson, Maya Kowalski's lawyer. Greg Anderson is going to be sitting down with me for a couple of hours. We're going to have a good conversation. Thursday, OJ, and then next Friday is our January F-It Friday stream, which is going to be epic. It's going to be an all-ladies party. It is going to be something I call Legal Vice's Lady Bits. It's the Ladies Night Boozy Griftathon coming up next Friday. This time, don't miss it. Right now, we got a big panel lined up of Flux, Lauren De Laguna, Steph the Alter Nerd, Chandler Remington, Ari Jacob, Radix Verum, Christina is going to be here. Talk with Sally, Waifu Kron Jess, AV to the 7th Power, Lady Law 5791, Jasmine Jafar, and the most recent entry is comedian Lila Hart. So that's what we've got, and possibly more. We're still putting it together. So don't miss that next Friday. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got 240 people here waiting for Becky, so we need to get the show on the road. And 140 likes. So 100 of you haven't done your job. Get down there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you are subscribed. Double check to make sure you are, and take our poll today. Is Becky a hoe name? Yes or no? That's the choice. And of course, all Becky's in chat are excluded from that, because that would just be nonsensical. We're talking non-Vice Racks, non-Vice Squad Becky's. Clearly, no Becky here. Anyway, is Becky, in fact, a hoe name? Yes or no? I don't know how much we're going to get through here today, because I have a hard out at 2 hours from start. So in like an hour and 49 minutes, I got to be out of here, because I did something really dumb last time Legal Mindset Andrew was in town. We met up in Seoul. Those of you that followed the Twitter thing and whatever else, we did a bit of drinking while we were up there, and I left my debit card up there, which is a pain in the ass, because every time I've needed to use my card every time I've needed to withdraw cash for the last month, I've had to do a cash advance on my credit card, which just blows. And they won't send it down here, so I'm literally going to get on a train, go 3.5 hours. Well, I guess 3 hours to Seoul, and then a half hour to the bar where it's waiting. Go into the bar and go, hey, can I have my card? Then I'm going to go back to the train station and take another 3-hour trip back home. And that's going to set me back about $150 to go get my debit card back. So that's what the Law Racks has on the table for today. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? This is the new time frame, as I said, for Friday, because I like to go out and I have not had a Friday night without panic and stress for just about 2 years since I started. I guess about 18 months I started doing this. So for like the last 18 months, I have not had a calm, relaxing Friday night out. And I was having such a calm, relaxing Friday night last night. It's because it's Saturday morning here. I had all these plans like, oh my God, I'm my first really free Friday in 18 months. What am I going to do? I popped some popcorn. I grabbed a cocktail and I sat down on the TV in front of not on the TV, in front of the TV and watched. So this is going to be the new time slot for Friday. Weekdays, same time. And with that, now that we've been talking for the last 10, 12 minutes, let's bring this back. Right. Dust off the Becky Hill files. I'm sorry, the Becky Hill files. That was legitimately a Freudian slip. Nice. Right. What are we going to do? We're going to read a bunch of news articles to catch us up. Oh, and Doggo Cam is already locked and loaded just in case that happens to get released. Just in case we happen to hit that achievement. The puppers are all sitting here right next to me, snoring peacefully. So if you hear any sniffing, growling, heavy breathing, it ain't me. It's the dogs. And that's my story, and I am sticking to it. And speaking of which, to push us on our way to Doggo Cam, we have Marv White. Marv, we're in a bad time slot for Marv. We're in such a bad time slot, I can't bring up the chat. With the $2, Marv White says, boo, this time spot, I'll be on the rewatch crew. Well, look forward to seeing anybody that's on the rewatch crew. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment and all that other stuff, especially the comments. It seems YouTube likes comments these days. Unhung Hero, Becky is the host of Ho Names. Thank you for that. Thank you for the confirmation. And member for 7 months, Cindy Lou Hoot. Jeff, you have 66.6 subs. Oh no, they've discovered my true nature. That is me, the sign of the beast. All right. Speaking of beasts, let's talk about Becky Hill, shall we? Let's do some Becking over here. Make sure we've got embiggen. This is to the embiggenest of embiggenable levels. And how's that look over here? No, we don't want the video to be starting again for no reason whatsoever. All right, we can way embiggen this article. That's cool. There we go. Boom. Right. Now, see, y'all may remember she was in a little bit of hot water for her potential jury tampering. Well, Becky's got some bigger problems than that. She is now officially two separate investigations. Two separate investigations by SLED. Court clerk in Alex Murdaugh trial now facing 2 investigations. 2. Count them up. Becky Hill is the central figure in Murdaugh's attempt to get his murder conviction set aside. Dang it. Get rid of that stupid video. Columbia, South Carolina, Colleton County Clerk of Court Becky Hill is facing 2 state police investigations, even as she is set to be the central figure in Alex Murdaugh's efforts to overturn his murder conviction. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division SLED confirmed to News 19 Tuesday that they have 2 open investigations. Oh, and they have 2 open investigations involving Hill. Good job in your editing department, News 19. They have 2 investigations involving Hill. One of the probes involves alleged intersections she may have had. This is like the worst. I need to start I read most of these articles. I didn't read this one. This is hellacious. Alleged 2 intersections she may have had with the jury in Murdaugh's trial, while the others involves allegations she used her position for personal gain. SLED has announced months ago that they were looking into claims of jury tampering involving the Murdaugh trial. However, they had previously not said they were looking into any other misconduct claims surrounding Hill. Well, Murdaugh's attorneys are seeking a new murder trial for their client based on the claim that Colleton County Clerk of Court tampered with the jury. Oh, we're going to be talking a lot about that today. Making multiple prejudicial remarks, her attorneys said they heard from 3 jurors who said that Hill told some of them not to trust Murdaugh when he testified in his defense. They said the court clerk in charge of helping jurors. Now, see, she's not the court clerk. She's the clerk of court. Totally different people, totally different roles. They said the clerk of court in charge of helping jurors and ensuring the trial ran efficiently also had private conversations with the jury foreperson and pressured jurors to come to a quick verdict. Hill, of course, has denied the claims. The defense also argues that Hill's credibility is now in question, with the recent admission by one of her lawyers that she plagiarized material in her book. And if you didn't see that, there's a lot of stuff about that out there. We're going to be touching on it just a little bit in a couple of these articles. But yeah, it seems that she has also plagiarized part of her book. So she's facing 2 criminal investigations and oh my God. And she has plagiarized parts of her book. Becky, you wanted to be the star of the show? You're fixing to be the star of the show. Plus the star of your own show. Yeah, she plagiarized material in her book about the trial. Sales of that book have now been stopped. We're definitely going to talk about that in a minute. And in November, Becky Hill's son, Jeffrey Hill. Jeffrey is an awesome name, unlike that of his mother. The former Colleton County Information Technology Director. And remember, she's accusing the Murdaughs of having this control over the Low Country for 120 years or whatever it's been. It's all in this incestuous family thing. Well, clerk of court for Colleton County's son is the former Colleton County Information Technical Director, and he was charged with wiretapping. In warrants, SLED accused Jeffrey Hill of illegally listening in on a phone conversation he wasn't a part of back in July of 2023. The conversation was recorded, the warrant states, unbeknownst to either of the other parties. Murdaugh's hearing to argue for a new trial begins on 29 January in Columbia and is expected to last 3 days. So that's going to be 29th, 30th, and 31st. The presiding judge will be Jean Toll, or Jean Toll. I guess it'll be a female. It's Jean, I guess, the former South Carolina Supreme Court Chief Justice. Murdaugh was convicted in March of 2023 of shooting to death his wife, Maggie Murdaugh, and their son, Paul Murdaugh, and the family's sprawling estate in Colleton County in June of 2021. Murdaugh has also been convicted and sentenced in federal and state court for scores of financial crimes. He admitted to stealing millions from his clients and the law firm his family founded. In November, he was sentenced to 27 years on financial charges.
New help for people who are looking for affordable.
Stupid auto starting videos. Well, we're off to the races, it looks like, folks. Becky's found herself in a spot of trouble, so we're gonna look more at that particular spot of trouble she's in once I center myself. There we go. Got to center myself. The cleaning lady was here and she off centers everything. Okay, well, before we move on to the next story, Angel Australia, thank you so much. Take my Aussie dollars and get that dog booty cam on, please. We are on our way. That is for sure. We are just about 80 away. Cool. You've taken care of that for us a little bit. Unhung Hero, thank you. Jeffrey is a bro name. I concur. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Unhung Hero. All right, that's cleared the super chat. And again, thank you everybody so much for the support. Super chats are not required to engage with me. They are graciously and gratefully accepted as always. Anytime that they come through, I'm very, very grateful for the support. I do try to read the chat as much as possible. It's a little harder to do when it's the read heavy streams like we got today, but I'm doing my best. But the super chat is the absolute perfect way to guarantee that you will have your chat read and addressed. With that, enough of that. We'll save the super hardcore grift for next Friday's Legal Vices Lady Bit stream, the Griftathon, the F it Friday. All right, bringing up the next article here. This is going to start to focus a little bit on some of these allegations that's going on. So let's see, Becky Hill, and this is from local news source Fitz News, fitznews.com. He's there. Again, you may recall when this whole Becky thing first started, and we played a video of her being interviewed about her book. And the guy that conducted the interview is the guy that founded and runs Fitz News. Great guy, great local inside on the ground coverage. It's like Pavlov's dog. You say ground, someone else says ground, you got to say grounds, because that's just how life works now, post Brooks. Becky Hill, investigation, destroyed devices, missing cell phones, raise red flags. Well, if she loses her job, here in Colleton County as the clerk of court, she could probably get a new job destroying phones at J-Hatch. Disturbing new allegations point to potential obstruction of justice. What do you think about that, Strawberry? Me too. Potential obstruction of justice. In late November, our media outlet, that is the Fitz News media outlet, our media outlet published one of its initial in-depth reports detailing the escalating investigation into embattled Colleton County, South Carolina clerk of court, Becky Hill. That story, derided by many as fake news, laid out some critical components of this still unfolding narrative. First, our reports revealed that Hill was the focus of two separate South Carolina State Ethics Commission investigations, which have subsequently covered in much greater detail, including Hill's response to them. Second, our November 27, 2023 report was published just days after reporter Andy Franger exclusively reported that Hill's son, Colleton County Information Technology Director Jeffrey Colt Hill, had been arrested on one count of wiretapping for having willfully and feloniously intercepted electronic phone communication. Yoink. In his report on Jeffrey Hill's arrest, Fancher told... All right, I've been trying to read it on the screen. I got to bring up the bigger one here. All right, here we go. Now we'll be able to read it properly and correctly. In this report on Jeffrey Hill's arrest, Fancher noted that Becky Hill was, quote, forced to surrender her phone to SLED upon the issuance of a search warrant. You remember we talked about that briefly a while back. Just before all the, just after all the Becky Hill stuff came out, while they were filing the motions, it came out that she had her telephone seized. The beginning of some problems for Beck. So she was forced to surrender her phone to SLED upon the issuance of a search warrant. Our late November report further linked Becky Hill to the investigations into her son and noted the investigation with the South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division, SLED, were, quote, exploring obstruction of justice charges against both Becky Hill and Jeffrey Hill as it relates to the mushrooming wiretapping scandal. We now have additional information related to these obstruction allegations. First, though, why does Hill's story matter so much? Because in addition to the multiplying myriad of scandals she has stumbled into over the last few months, she remains the focus of a jury tampering investigation, which many believe will result in a new trial for convicted killer Alex Murdaugh. Hill's office was responsible for the administration of Murdaugh's double homicide trial in Waterboro, South Carolina last year, an international spectacle dubbed the trial of the century in South Carolina. In fact, it was Hill who announced Murdaugh's guilty verdicts to a waiting world on March 2nd, 2023. Can you believe we are 10 months out from the verdict on that? It's been damn near a year. It's been 10 months since the verdict was announced. 10 months. That's like 1/6 or 1/10 of your life, Straubs. That's like 10% of your little doggy life. God dang. That's depressing. 6 months after the trial, though, Murdaugh's attorneys accused her of tampering with the jury and engaging in an alleged conspiracy to have a juror believed to be favorable to Murdaugh removed from the panel. Murdaugh's attorney, led by Dick Harpootlian and Jim Griffin, accused Hill of betraying her oath of office for money and fame, allegedly influencing the jury against Murdaugh in an effort to sell copies of her book, Behind the Doors of Justice. That book, incidentally, is at the heart of one of the ethics complaints Hill is facing. Now, see, remember when she was doing that, the prosecution side of things, they submitted a document saying that she had the ethics committee's blessing to go ahead and write this book. Well, it seems that they may not have been given the full story. Hill has steadfastly denied the tampering allegations, including in an affidavit submitted by the state opposing Murdaugh's bid for a new trial. However, she and her supporters have been ensnared in a web of lies, and her book is currently being taken off shelves after Hill admitted to plagiarizing portions of the text. The tampering allegations are the focus of the retrial hearing scheduled for later this month. It's 29th in Columbia, South Carolina, before former South Carolina Chief Justice Jean Toll. In the meantime, though, the case against Hill is progressing, including some disturbing new revelations about the alleged destruction of evidence and other attempts to pervert the course of justice. While Hill recently released Colleton County emails have become those emails, holy God. There's a lot of emails I thought, oh, we'll read these emails until I downloaded the file, and there's like 2,104 pages or something like that. So yeah, there's over 2,100 pages of emails from Becky Hill, and a lot of them are allegedly and apparently really, really interesting. But we're not going to read 2,000 pages of emails here. So we've heard a little bit about the cell phone records sought by investigators back in November in the aftermath of her son's wiretapping arrest. According to our sources, that's because the phone Becky Hill's son surrendered to SLED, an iPhone of dubious evidentiary value, remains the focus of an intense, ongoing debate between agents and her attorney. Oh, look. She looks like little Mrs. Claus there. It's like Mrs. Claus or like a washed up Mickey Mouse, or I'm not sure. Anyway. As previously reported, the iPhone Becky Hill surrendered to SLED is not the phone she used during the trial. Let that sink in just a little bit there. The phone she surrendered to SLED is not the phone that she used during the Murdaugh trial. Nor is it a separate iPhone Hill had been reportedly using since the allegations against her son were made public. Sources familiar with the inquiry indicated Hill switched from a Samsung device, a Samsung device. If you're not from Korea, Samsung is the proper pronunciation. Switched from a Samsung device to an iPhone in the days immediately after being accused of jury tampering in the Murdaugh case. Oh, you're accused of jury tampering. Well, I guess I better not just switch phones, but switch entire genres of phones, entire species of phones. Doesn't look suspicious at all. Sources familiar with the inquiry indicated Hill switched from a Samsung phone in the days immediately after being accused of jury tampering in the Murdaugh case. Where is the Samsung phone used by Hill during the Murdaugh trial? No one knows. It's in the wind. It's missing. It's gonzo. It is probably in another pile of phones that J Hatch has disposed of. Agents specifically sought the Samsung device, but as of this writing, have not located it. They wanted the Samsung. A source familiar with the inquiry told us the search warrant specifically requested the Samsung. Nobody knows where that Samsung is. Well, I bet there's one person that knows where that Samsung is. Right, Becky? Which iPhone did Hill surrender? Again, it's not immediately clear whether SLED obtained the iPhone linked to Hill's original county-issued phone number, which she has since abandoned, or the iPhone linked to the new number she's been using since the scandal broke. Here's where it gets trickier. Okay, as if it hasn't been tricky enough up to this point, it gets trickier. Hill hasn't only been swapping out devices and phone numbers in the aftermath of the trial, she's been moving wireless accounts. Or rather, her son has been moving them. So she doesn't just switch iPhones or doesn't switch Samsung phones. She swaps out entire different brands of phone and new providers. As previously reported, Becky Hill's county-issued cell phone number was reportedly released from its taxpayer-funded Verizon account and added to her personal account. This, we were told, was part of an effort to evade accountability, specifically to dodge a looming subpoena from the State Ethics Commission for her cell phone records. We have since confirmed this switcheroo. Give it a whirl of Becky Hill's phone. Switcheroo of Becky Hill's phone was requested by her son, Jeffrey Hill, on July 24th, 2023, and effectuated 2 days later. Records show that on July 26, 2023, this line was transferred from Colleton County to a Yahoo email account linked to Becky Hill. Of interest, Hill reportedly told investigators on multiple occasions that she did not keep the county-issued Samsung phone after she transferred the line from the county. She was saying she was no longer using the county equipment, one source told us. Her whole story was that she didn't keep the phone when she left the county plan. Clearly, she was until September 5th, which of course was the day Murdaugh's attorneys accusing Hill of jury tampering. Well, at the same time, He was switching out his mother's cell phone account in late July. Mysterious things were happening in Jeffrey Hill's two phones, a Samsung device linked to his personal number and another Samsung device provided by the county. According to sources familiar with the status of the investigation, Hill ordered a new Samsung phone for use on his county-issued line on or about July 18th, 2023, and, quote, disposed of the county-issued Samsung phone he was previously using. What happened to that device? It was destroyed, we are told, and thrown into a dumpster. Now, here's the deal. Just for all of you that care, or if you happen to live in a county that takes a dim view of this sort of stuff, if your company gives you a phone and you're done with it and you switch out devices, you get off the company plan, you do whatever, you give the phone back. And if you are using a taxpayer-funded phone, and you stop using that plan, you switch the phone out, you give them both back. I mean, you give them both back. You give it back with like extra assurity. You don't just say, okay, I'm not using this government issued taxpayer funded phone anymore, so I'm going to destroy it and throw it into a dumpster. No, give the phone back. Really, really give it back if it's a taxpayer funded phone. Otherwise, as I said, if you lived in a place that actually gave a shit about that, you could be in a whole bunch of trouble. Why did Jeffrey Hill allegedly destroy/throw away his work phone? And transfer his mother's county-issued phone line in late July? Because, according to our sources, that's when he realized he had been caught wiretapping Colleton County Deputy Administrator Megan Utzi, purportedly as part of an effort to keep Becky Hill abreast of the investigations into her conduct. Holy snotballs. How does that sound? The allegations are he was tapping the deputy administrator's phone line so that they could keep Becky abreast of the investigations into her conduct. Yikes. Jeffrey Hill was suspended on July 27th for wiretapping Utzi, the day after his mother's county-issued phone line was officially transferred. He returned to work on August 14th. In other words, it would appear he got rid of his original phone just in time. 3 weeks after he was reinstated, the jury tampering allegations were leveled against his mother, prompting a dramatic escalation of the situation. Within a week of those allegations being made public on or about September 11th, 2023, SLED sought to interview Jeffrey Hill related to the wiretapping allegation, which is when he allegedly destroyed his personal Samsung cell phone. Hi, SLED, we'd like to talk to you. Sorry, phone doesn't work. Can you call me on a landline? Damn. According to our sources, Hill destroyed his personal Samsung phone the moment he learned SLED wanted to interview him. Again, op-ed, all of this are allegations. He definitely knew the walls were closing in, one source told us. There's Becky's boy. There's Becky's little boy right there. Giving Jeffries a bad name with that haircut. Jeffrey Hill's new county-issued Samsung phone was surrendered to SLED upon his arrest. According to our sources, the device obtained by investigators had been factory reset, which, according to the company, completely erases your personal information and data to make your phone or tablet a clean slate. Jeffrey Hill's new personal Samsung was also surrendered to SLED upon his arrest in November 21, 2023. That device had also been factory reset, according to our sources. 6 cell phones, 2 of them allegedly destroyed, 2 of them factory reset, 1 reportedly missing, 1 which investigators have in their possession, but is clearly not the device they sought via their subpoena. Frankly, this alone constitutes a compelling case for alleged obstruction of justice on the part of Becky Hill and her son. Not only that, these evasive measures appear to have taken place at pivotal moments in the evolution of this story, i.e. when Jeffrey Hill allegedly became aware that he had been caught eavesdropping on Utzi, when the jury tampering allegations against Becky Hill became public, and when Jeffrey Hill was first contacted by SLED about an interview. Even more problematic, we are receiving troubling reports that SLED agents and officials sought at various points during the investigation to downplay any possible connection between Jeffrey Hill's eavesdropping and the ethics investigation into Hill. What? SLED agents doing some shady shiz? What's the odds of that? Mind you, these are the same people that are investigating this. We're continuing to probe the evolution of this inquiry and will provide updates to our audience, including a more detailed discussion of SLED's role in the investigation. As of this writing, yep, here we are. This is the end of this article. As of this writing, Becky Hill's case remains with ethics investigators, although we've been told to expect a criminal referral at some point. We're expecting Becky to be charged. Meanwhile, Attorney General Alan Wilson, remember Attorney General Alan Wilson? He was the one that was like, where's my Becky Boo? Where's my Becky Boo? You did such a good job, Becky Boo. We love you. You're the best thing ever to come out of Colleton County. Becky Boo, my little Becky Boo. Remember that guy? That's the Attorney General, whose office prosecutor Murdaugh has accepted prosecutorial jurisdiction over both Becky Hill and Jeffrey Hill's cases. Well, now he's just got to take over for Becky Boo. He's got to investigate his little Becky Boo. What do y'all think of that? Just SLED, the one who lied to the grand jury to get Murdaugh indicted. SLED, the one that's done some shady shiz throughout this whole thing. SLED's investigating this, and it's being prosecuted by the dude who called her Becky Boo. Yeah, but has yet to say whether he's referring either matter to a non-conflicted solicitor. Well, he probably should, because, you know, if you're calling somebody Becky Boo, my Becky Boo, she's the hardest working person in Colleton County, you probably need to have someone else take care of it. You seem to have a bit of a conflict. Or whether he's assigning to the statewide grand jury for further investigations. Well, if it goes to the grand jury, we can always have SLED lie. No worries there. Becky Moo. No, Angel, that's me. Funny but mean. Oh, my Lord, people. Lord. We are just at it here. Good Lord. All right, we're just getting started, folks. There's a lot to catch up on. Island with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. We're marching slowly and steadily. We're $75 away from Doggo Cam. Becky and Murdaugh's grandparents knew each other. I'm pretty sure everybody in Colleton County somehow knew each other, were related to each other, had dealings with each other. That's just kind of how small towns are. I mean, I literally remember when my town was small enough that you quite literally knew everybody in town, or if you knew somebody who knew somebody. That's kind of it. But we're part of the Colleton County whiskey conspiracy of 1950s. I might have rabbit-holed hard. The Colleton County whiskey conspiracy. Well, thank you for giving me something to deep dive. Me being Legal Vice's whiskey aficionado that I am. The Colleton County whiskey conspiracy. 1950s. All right, all right, 1950s. Huh. All right, well, I'll have to deep dive that. Nothing leaps. Oh, wow. Huh. Oh my. That'll be fun. Oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. We're going to do a show about that. That looks cool. Thank you so much for that, Island. That is super, super appreciated. Not only the support, but also the information. Dang. Yes, they went to trial together as co-conspirators. That was what the headline said. Wow. Philip Martin says every time a baby laughs, an angel may get its wings, but every time a South Carolina corruption conspiracy occurs, a SLED agent gets his badge. Youch. That's a little harsh indictment there, but I'm not going to argue with it. If she ain't good enough for her family, she ain't good enough for ours. Wait. And Manders 13. What's up, Manders? Manders dropping the Legal Vices gifted memberships heat with the 5 Legal Vices memberships. If you got one of those 5 Legal Vices memberships, make sure you give Manders a super, super special thanks for that. Thank you so much, Manders. Manders putting us $25. We are now 50 away from unleashing Doggo Cam. All right, there we go. Right. Next article. Let's bring up the next article, shall we? The next article talks about SLED opening up its misconduct probe. A little more detail on this second misconduct probe. All right, Chad, I'm reading you. You're funny. Becky. SLED opens misconduct probe into Becky Hill. Dun, dun, dun. Waterboro, South Carolina. State police in South Carolina say they are investigating the possibility Becky Hill, Colleton County elected clerk of court, may have abused her government position for financial gain. Oh, shocker. Oh, the hell you say. Not Becky, not little Becky Boo. She wouldn't do something like that, would she? And I've just noticed, unintentionally, I've reverted back to my Utah accent. something about this case makes me revert back to my Utah accent. Yeah, when I start pronouncing fork as fark and start swapping my A's and like when a barn becomes a born and when a baby kid is born from his mama, then I've completely gone feral. I've gone Utah feral. All right. Anyway, sorry. I'm certainly not doing an impression. Well, intentionally an impression of a South Carolinian. This is just how we talk out in Utah. I've reverted to my native accent. All right. State police in South Carolina say they are investigating the possibility Becky Hill, Colleton County's elected clerk of court, may have abused her government position for financial gain. Exactly, Esprit. We have turlets. You go to the turlet. We do. The state law enforcement division confirms that is one of two criminal probes agency detectives have now. I've also apparently reverted to my native Cache Valley, Utah reading skills. Let's try that whole sentence over again. Wow. The state law enforcement division confirms that is one of two criminal probe agencies detectives have open involving Becky Hill, SLED spokesperson Renee Wunderlich said Tuesday. SLED's inquiry focusing on Hill's possible use of her elected office for improper personal benefit has not been previously acknowledged by state police. SLED's other open investigation into Hill concerns her reported interactions with the jury in the infamous Alex Murdaugh murder trial. That investigation has been previously confirmed and reported. There's Becky Boo on the stairs. Becky Boo. This is like literally when he was like, Becky Boo, where are you? Where are you, my Becky Boo? I'm right up here, Attorney General. That's literally the moment that happened. Well, Hill garnered modest public fame through her front and center role as court administrator during the Murdaugh murder trial, which included reading the jury's guilty verdict as audiences watched live on television and internet streams internationally. That was intentional. Hill went on to do several media interviews, appeared in documentaries about the Murdaugh saga, and hastily wrote and self-published a memoir about her involvement in the trial. But her quasi-fame has been followed by a firestorm of scrutiny through the latter half of 23 into 2024. It began quietly in June when a concerned person filed an ethics complaint against Hill with the South Carolina State Ethics Commission. The complaint accused Hill of self-serving behavior during and after the Murdaugh trial, saying she utilized her authority in Colleton County Courthouse and taxpayers' money outside the scope of routine court business to benefit herself financially. Because if there's one thing people don't like, it's government fraud, waste, and abuse. It's her using her government sources, her government resources, her government technology, her government connections to make money. People don't like that. Well, some specific allegations included in the complaint were that Hill used her political office to obtain and release confidential information and materials, used her office to promote her book and the book written by another journalist, neglected her duties in office to promote her book, misappropriated funds. That's a dog right there. That is a badass, grizzled, old, chewed up hound. Do not misappropriate funds. That will get you intercoursed real quick. And as we've talked about before, if you happen to be like a lawyer and there's a dime missing, you got 10 cents missing from your client account, you better have a good goddamn reason why you're missing 10 cents from your client account, or you can be crucified. And ask any lawyer, the absolute fastest way to lose your license is to screw with client funds, is to misappropriate funds. That literally is the fastest and most sure way of losing your law license. And it should be the same for elected officials like that. Hell, ask Murdaugh. Well, yeah, there's a difference. Well, really, there's not, is there? I was going to say there's a difference between taking $100 from your client account, or if you're a Murdaugh, taking like $8 million from your client. There technically isn't a difference. So yeah, we can just ask Murdaugh. It's a matter of degrees. But yeah, just don't do that. SLED acknowledging its agents are investigating Hill for possible self-enrichment at the expense of Colleton County taxpayers represents a significant escalation of the severity of outcomes for the clerk of court. She could do some time in the cut cage. She could do some slammer time here. Slammer time. Potential ramifications for Hill now rise from ethics fines to include potentially criminal Sean. Hey, just kidding. To include potential criminal charges, suspension from office, and even removal from office by Governor Henry McMaster, should she be convicted. These names. McMaster, Master, or Wunderlich. We got some cool names there in South Carolina. At the time of this publication on January 9th, 2024, Hill has not been charged with any crime and remains in office. She has repeatedly denied wrongdoing despite the barrage of assault on her character and integrity. Confirmation of the second investigation into Hill's actions comes just weeks before Alex Murdaugh is set to receive an evidentiary hearing to determine if he's entitled to a retrial in the state's murder case against him. Again, that's going to be going down. Some of this is going down on the 29th of January for 3 days. That retrial hearing stems from accusations by a small contingent of Murdaugh trial jurors and alternates who told Murdaugh's lawyers post-trial that Hill deliberately tried to sway them into finding Murdaugh guilty. Well, does it really matter if it's one juror, a small contingent of jurors, or all jurors? For news, if one juror has been tampered with, that is sufficient. So I like how they try to minimize it, sort of make it seem like it's not that important when they say, oh, by alleged jury misconduct by a small contingent of Murdaugh trial jurors. 3 of the 4 jurors Murdaugh lawyers spoke to. Now, that 3 of the 4 jurors, that doesn't sound like a small contingent. That sounds like 33%. That sounds like 1/3 of the jurors to me. 3 of the 4 jurors Murdaugh lawyers spoke to said Hill made comments to them during the trial, urging them to be suspicious of Murdaugh, not to be fooled or misled or distracted by things he said or his attorneys brought up. One juror 630, provided an affidavit to Murdaugh's defense lawyer saying Hill even coached them to pay special attention during Murdaugh's trial to his behaviors and movements. This is notable because Murdaugh's tics and body languages were a noted focus of lead state prosecutor Creighton Waters as he cross-examined Murdaugh and later made his final arguments to jury. And two other jurors interviewed by SLED in response to the defense's jury tampering claims also reported Hill say. So these are answers that were given to SLED, not just to Murdaugh's lawyers. 2 reported Hill saying something to them about body language, according to state prosecutors' own filings. However, 8 other jurors interviewed by SLED said they did not recall Becky making such commentary. Well, there we go again. The evidentiary hearing on Murdaugh's request for a retrial is scheduled for January 29 to January 31, has been moved out of Colleton County to Richland County as a means of avoiding conflict of interest since Hill is accused of tampering with the jury and likely will be called as a witness. The defense just submitted a new witness list. They've added some people that they want questioned. And Becky Hill's son is now on the list. Creighton Waters is now a potential witness for the defense. There's a lot of good stuff that's going to be happening between January 29 and 31. Don't miss that. We'll cover it as much as we possibly can. While all this is happening, Hill's son, former Colleton County Government Technology Director Jeffrey C. Hill, is also under indictment by state police on wiretapping charges. Sources with direct knowledge of the investigation of that case have told News 4 that evidence has shown Jeffrey Hill's spying is directly tied to attempts to gather information about the ethics complaints against his mother and other internal county discussions, which he would then relay back to her. News 4 has since learned Becky Hill's cell phone line was conspicuously taken off the county's plan and released to her personal control soon after which we just heard about, soon after county officials alerted authorities of her son spying on their calls and emails. Additionally, News 4's source says, wow, that's a good little tongue twister. News 4's source says when SLED obtained a warrant to seize Becky Hill's phone as part of the investigation into her son, she reportedly provided agents with a different phone than the one she was originally given by the county. It's sounding to me like Becky might be in a spot of trouble. Seems like Becky might have some issues. Becky might be taking up residence in the Gray Bar Hotel. Sounds like there's a good possibility of that. But of course, we'll just have to see what the evidence presents and whether they're able to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. But yeah, it ain't looking good from where I'm sitting for the Baxter. Your mama's so guilty. How guilty is my mama? Wow. When your son starts allegedly wiretapping so that they can eavesdrop on the discussions about your investigation. Ooh, that's getting into some dangerous territory there. All right, let's see how we doing over here. We're caught up on most things. Bit of bother Becky. Well, that's like the thumbnail. I purposely said, how do you solve a problem like Becky? Becky. Bad Becky. Bad, naughty Becky. Becky is going to get deloused and receiving a new pantsuit. Deloused. Oh, Becky going to prison. Maybe, possibly. And Trish Norman, I want to see the emails she passed on to the prosecution. Yeah, I want to see that. Well, the email PDF that's in question here, like I said, is 2,100 plus pages. There's a whole bunch of emails there. There's a lot. Kind of makes you wonder. Is it all about the fame? Is it all about kind of chasing that clout lightning? Is that what it's about? Or is there a more nefarious reason that the Hills wanted Murdaugh locked away forever and ever and ever? Something being covered up? No clue, no evidence, just kind of makes you ask some questions. Why go to all of this? Why go to this length? Don't know, but let's see. Scrolling on through here. Right. Now that Becky's book is out of publication, Uncivil's copy is suddenly a collector's item. Wonder what he can fetch for that on the gray market. Well, let's see what Court TV has to say about all this, shall we? Hey, what's up? Danny on direct. Legalize, just love you too, Danny, my ride or diest of all ride or dies out there. Glad to see you on this festive Friday evening. You rock. Everybody needs to get on over to Danny on direct too and check out her channel. She's been doing some Epstein deep diving. Some good stuff over there, and she's going to be hanging with Chandler Remington in the not too distant future. And Flux is here too. Hey, Flux, didn't see you there. Danny on direct, Danny. Right, let's bring this on up. And Danny has reminded me I have not hung Torin's braid work behind me yet. I need to do that today. I need to hang the braid work. Righto, let's embiggen this here so that we can get rid of the sidebar. That should be good enough. clerk. Oh, county clerk. Again, no, she's not the clerk. She's words mean things, people. She's not the court clerk. She's the clerk of court. Literally different things. Yes, Danny on Direct says, oh, also, do you know you're Satan? You have 666. We need to ban you like Monster Energy drinks. That's actually funny. Just me and the Bilderbergs gotta ban us like Monster Energy drinks. Thank you very much. I mean, Danny on Direct. I'm one of the lizard people. I'm a satanic lizard person. Oh, and it's all caps. So UK LSA or Uxla. We'll just call you Uxla. No, Ux. We can't say Uxla. All right, just what's up, UK? Thank you so much for the £4. Hey, Jeff, love the content. Make me feel a little better writing awful UK public law essays. Okay, so we'll assume the UK stands for UK. All right, thank you so much. And that sounds horrific. Ugh. No thanks. It's the weekend. I ain't writing nothing. Right. Okay. Here we go. Court clerk is not court clerk. She's clerk of court. Different creatures, different animals. Totally different animals. Clerk of court, Becky Hill apologizes. Oh, well, I'm sorry for plagiarizing a book on the Murdaugh murders. I'll bet everything was taken out of context and nobody understands anything. I bet that's all it is. A book written about the Alec Murdaugh murders by the clerk of court for the trial has been pulled and is no longer available for sale after the clerk admitted to plagiarizing portions of it. Yerp. Becky Hill is the clerk of court in Colleton County, where Murdaugh was convicted and sentenced for the murders of his wife and son and served in that position during the high-profile trial. Hill, who co-authored a book about the murders and the trial, Behind the Doors of Justice, has recently come under fire after allegations by Murdaugh's attorney that she made inappropriate comments to the jury. In the wake of allegations of jury tampering, there were reports of an open ethics investigation into Hill for using unethical behavior and using her position as clerk to promote her book. Court TV obtained letters sent to and from the South Carolina State Ethics Commission by Hill asking questions about whether she could move forward with writing the book. Oh, well, thank you, Court TV, for obtaining letters. Everybody that's following this case has seen those letters because they're actually part of the filings that have been done with regard to making a motion for a new trial based on her shenanigans. So everybody's kind of seen that, I think. If not, that's just kind of all it says. She asks questions, can I do this? And they're like, hey, if you meet this criteria, go ahead. However, it appears that Hill didn't write all of her part of the book herself. Her co-author, Neil Gordon, who previously told Court TV, yeah, remember this interview? It was an honor for me to work with someone with such integrity and character as Becky Hill. Remember that? Remember that was a fun little interview where he just sung the praises of little Becky Boo just for ad nauseum and at length. He sang her praises. Just a second. I was just having an amusing text message there that may or may. Okay, wait. I'm waiting for the response to this text message. All right. Well, anyway. All right. We'll talk about this text message here in about 5 minutes. But right. Let's get through this article before I have to address that. However, it appears that Hill didn't write all, because remember there was all of this going on. We just love old Becky Boo from the Attorney General's office, and it was such an honor for me to work with someone with such integrity and character as Becky Hill. Said in a news release that the book had been unpublished and sales stopped after learning that portions were plagiarized. When I confronted Becky about this, she admitted she plagiarized the passage due to deadline pressures, Gordon said. As a veteran journalist myself, I cannot excuse her behavior, nor can I condone it. Donut. So see, I told you this shit would come up. I told you this shit would come up. The reason she plagiarized the book was deadlines. Oh, I had no choice but to plagiarize it because I was up against a deadline. And potentially criminal Sean dropping the $2 heat. The head of SLED got sanctioned $12,000 in a lawsuit. Well, that's not nearly enough, is it? Government slime. Ugh. Thank you so much for that, Sean. Great to see you. Everybody needs to pop on over to Potentially Criminal Sean, who we mentioned earlier. We made a reference to Sean earlier, Potentially Criminal, if he wasn't here, when we were saying that she was facing potentially criminally charges. So, anyway, there we go. Well, yeah, we need to do that. Hang on here. We need to do that. Where are we? There we go. Ta-da! There we go. It's now official. Gordon found the plagiarism while reviewing thousands of pages of Hill's emails that were released to reporters through the Freedom of Information Act. And again, there's 2,100 plus pages of emails. Dudes, if you're misappropriating allegedly or otherwise funds, if you're misusing county government whatever equipment, don't send emails about it. Don't do that. That's just fucking dumb. Among these emails was an excerpt from an article by BBC reporter Holly Hondrick, and the text of that article matched a 12-page passage in the book's preface. 12-page passage? That's not a paragraph here or there, is it? It's just 12 pages? She didn't even fucking try. Holy God. No, I hope that's some sort of misprint, because if you're just lifting 12 pages of previous text, that's almost as bad as the some of the later in the 2001 Space Odyssey novels. All right, that's too esoteric. If you read the 2001 Space Odyssey series of books, he clearly did not want to be writing the last book, and it's just huge chunks have been lifted from the first two books. It's pretty sad. But anyway, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Holy crap. Becky Hill is deeply remorseful regarding an allegation. Well, she'll have hopefully, probably not, but I hope to God she gets a lot of time in a private room in the Gray Bar Hotel to consider her actions. Regarding the allegations of plagiarism that have recently surfaced from her new book. Ms. Hill accepts full responsibility for this unfortunate lapse in judgment and has personally reached out to Ms. Hondrick to express her sincere apologies. It makes it all better, doesn't it? Gordon said in the news release that he also reported the plagiarism to Hondrick and was told that the BBC's attorneys are investigating. Oops, this has blindsided me, Gordon said. Well, perhaps you shouldn't blow smoke that far up Becky Hill's ass during your interviews. Oh, her integrity is unimpeachable. She's just the best person I ever worked with. That puts you someplace you don't want to be down the line. This has blindsided me, Gordon said. Journalism has been my life's work. My credibility and integrity are paramount to everything I do. Well, you just said that Becky Hill's integrity and credibility were beyond reproach, and you've never worked with anyone with as high of morals as that cow has. Well, there you go. I can't be associated with anything like plagiarism and will no longer partner with Becky Hill on any projects. I'd like to apologize to our readers and publicly to the BBC and the reporter. Well, the book previously on Amazon is no longer available for sale. No criminal charges have been filed against Hill. When asked previously about potential ethics investigations into Hill, the State Ethics Commission told Court TV it could not comment or could not confirm or deny the existence of any such complaints. Well, all right, folks. that brings us down there. And let's see, we got potentially criminal Sean super chat red. We are all up to date, and we are also $65 away from Doggo Can. And what I was talking about a bit earlier when I was sending text messages, this was in response to the text message that said, "I've decided to join your stream." There's Danny on direct.
I may or may not be mildly inebriated, so don't mind me.
That explains things.
When is this Becky Hill bitch going to be actually nailed by whatever ethics committee is in her state?
Well, she's going to be part of the evidentiary hearing on 29th of January, and your speakers are really loud.
Are they? I'm sorry. Yes. I'll turn it down. You mean my audio output?
No, we were hearing through your speaker.
I'm sorry. Is it better now?
No.
Damn it.
I can still hear everything I'm saying.
Mother effer. Hold on. How about now?
I don't know. Yep, no, we're good now.
Yes.
Now we can't hear me anymore, but we do have a beautiful view down State Street, Salt Lake City, right behind you. Which is
I thought I'd do something fun. I like the green screen. I know some people hate it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, but it's good to see. Good to see home over your shoulder there.
Yeah, I'm just here for nostalgic purposes. I mean, I finally actually went on leave today, like officially leave. So I'm really delighted by that. And I decided, you know what? Cheers for me. So
cheers for you.
I'm trying to be healthy, but also cheers for me. And then I heard you disparaging me and claiming that that I was all upset because I didn't get a wine Slurpee. And then I heard that you had
that was days
a wine
ago.
Slurpee for someone else.
That was days and days ago. That was not days. That was a week ago. Anywho,
the North remembers, Jeff.
This is why we're here. I was just minding my own business, and I get the text message from Danny that says, "I've decided to join your stream." So that's why she's here.
Don't let me interrupt your stream. Please continue where you were.
No. We're doing good. Now we're gonna look again at another court TV deal here, dealing with this plagiarism issue. Her plagiarizing her book, The Back Door of Justice, or whatever the hell it was called, Beyond the Doors of Justice, something like that.
Back Door of Justice. That sounds so wrong.
Yeah, well, that's how we roll.
It's bad enough that she influenced a jury. It's bad enough that she basically took all of the work of the prosecution team, flushed it down the toilet by doing what she did.
Allegedly.
Now she's also plagiarized.
Allegedly.
I mean, it's part of the course for what attorneys do, but she's not allowed to do that. She's not an attorney.
Far from it. Well, let's see. This article raises some questions with me. Becky Hill's co-author to donate books proceeds. I hate headlines. Becky Hill's co-author to donate book proceeds to low country charities. Lauren Silver, writing here for Court TV, says the co-author who worked with Colleton County Clerk of Court Becky Hill to publish a book about Alex Murdaugh's murder trial now says his share of proceeds from book sales will be donated to charities in South Carolina's Low Country. Neil Gordon wrote Behind the Doors of Justice with Hill and released the book shortly after the trial ended. The two self-published the book, which Hill recently admitted to plagiarizing portions of. Hill was thrust into the national spotlight after the trial ended when Murdaugh's defense attorneys filed a motion seeking a new trial that accused her of jury tampering. In the motion, Murdaugh's attorneys alleged that Hill made inappropriate comments to the jury that suggested Murdaugh's guilt. Well, see, now we can skip through all this crap here. We want to here we go. Yeah, we want to talk about the book. But if you'll go back, I don't know how many of you saw this initial interview that they did with Gordon, the co-author. Because he was like, which we've been talking about for the last 15 minutes. Her integrity and credibility is unimpeachable. He's just I've never met anyone as honest as her. That guy.
This is the co-author that backed up and was like, well, wait a second. Yep. I didn't know that she had plagiarized, even though he co-authored.
But it was deadlines. They had deadlines to meet. So,
I mean, excuses. I get that. I've missed some deadlines once or twice.
During this initial interview, he was saying, well, there are no proceeds from this book. We're getting our ass handed to us financially because this is this is all, self-published, and we don't have a publisher and all these things, and it's out of pocket. We're out of pocket. We're not making any money. So exactly what the hell is he donating to charity? What the fuck is he donating to charity if they're not making any money? Either he lied then, or he's making some stupid comments that mean absolutely fuck all at the moment. You decide which it is.
Steve Gosney is self-published, and I don't see him getting accused of, completely destroying a multiple murder case, going about and plagiarizing off of someone else. Like, that's not an excuse.
Yeah, well, this is just about the proceeds. We don't have, because someone was saying, yeah, she did this to get rich. He's like, we're not getting rich off. This is all out of pocket. We're losing money. This is a passion project. We're not making any money on this. We're not making a profit. We're just hoping some way we're going to break even. And now he's saying, sweetie, they're donating all the profits to charity.
Oh, sweetie, they haven't even begun to lose money yet. Yeah. Like, they've just started.
Yeah. So maybe he's doing an Amber Heard and pledging proceeds to charity. I don't know.
No. Well, here's what's going to happen is they may actually give their proceeds to charity so that they can avoid criminal liability.
He said there are no proceeds earlier, though. Now he's saying they're giving them to charity.
Oh, no.
He's lying then, or he's lying now?
He's lying, and I think he's trying to give them away to like shell companies, like little little charities that just so happen to be set up for justice for Ms. Becky. I just have a feeling. Well, because that's what's going on in Epstein. So of course I hit my microphone. I'm conspiratorial in that front. So don't mind me.
Well, though early on, Gordon was a vocal supporter of Hill's, things took a turn in December when he discovered the plagiarism. Though Gordon once told Court TV, "It was an honor for me to work with someone with such integrity and character as Becky Hill," he had very different things to say when he returned to talk to Vinny. Vinny makes me laugh. In closing arguments on January 8th, really disappointed, really shocked. I felt betrayed, Gordon said. Sometimes, Vinny, in life, you think you know someone, and then other things occur, and maybe it wasn't the person you thought they were. Well, tough shit. Immediately upon learning about the plagiarism, Gordon announced his intention to stop selling the book, but quickly learned that unpublishing a book isn't so simple.
Well, plus, he's making money. Like, why would you unpublish the book at this point? Just keep going.
When Becky Hill's husband unpublished our book, Kindle and audiobook, on December 22nd, we were under the impression that sales would cease immediately, Gordon said in a news release. When sales continued, we examined our publishing agreement and discovered it takes more time to remove a book from circulation. Gordon said that since the first attempt to unpublish the book, nearly 900 more were sold. His net royalties for his share come out to approximately $2.50 per book. Okay, so has he broken even yet? See, this is where it's like he's going to what are proceeds? Profits, or are they,
clearly he lacks a publicist. Clearly he lacks a PR guy, because someone would have sat him down and said, just shut up. Just shut up. You're digging yourself a hole. Just shut up. That's what needed to happen to this guy.
Well, he
I mean, not for us. Obviously, we're enjoying in the downfall of Becky Hill and her co-authors, but she needs to shut up.
Again, he hasn't donated. He intends to donate. We want this money that came out of a bad choice to be used for good. All proceeds from book sales after December 22nd will be donated. Everything. Wait.
I bet Chase Bank was saying that after they came to a settlement agreement with the SEC under the Epstein case. Like, oh, we're going to use all the money Epstein gave us. And when we say all, we mean like a very small portion of the money we earned from our deals with Epstein. We're going to take that and donate it to charities that fight against human trafficking. That's exactly what this sounds like. Like, we know we effed up, so let's use that to make sure this never happens again.
We'll donate it to the Epstein Child Protection Fund. Well, see, the good thing here is we know clearly from the article that 900 more were sold after this cutoff date at $2.50. He's donating about $1,900 to charity. Pat yourself on the back, fuckwit.
You know what? I think I've donated more to charity individually, like not even collectively, from money I raised for like the Maui fires or anything else. I'm pretty sure I have individually donated more money to help people. That's not saying a lot. I'm not a rich bitch. I'm not coming around throwing cash. I'm not making money off of fraudulent claims and and plagiarized books or backdoors to justice / broke back justice. I stole that from someone in the chat. That was too funny. So I thought I'd share it with the world.
One thing I want to share with the world. Pro Farrier, my horse hoof doctor man. Seriously, just some great stuff from Pro Farrier. Good to see you again. It's been a minute. Wait a minute. If you self-publish, who sets the deadlines? Now, don't be thinking so much because you're going to destroy the narrative.
Well, they have a publisher agreement. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody is publishing. They're just drafting and writing. So I'd imagine that they do have deadlines for whoever they were contracted with, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was one of those self-publishing companies where you're just late. They wanted to pump this book out to have it be released as close to the trial as possible. It's not like Random House is we're going to cancel your $30 million deal if we don't have this book by this date. It was just their little, print it and send it off through Amazon peeps. But yeah, so I'm glad that charity will get $12 from the proceeds. Well, $1,812 is about the same, I guess. But thank you so much for the support. Pro Farrier pushing us ever closer to releasing Doggo Cam. We are now 58 away. Cool. We'll see if we get to Doggo Cam. We got about 40 minutes left. Are we going to get there or not today? It's been a minute since Doggo Cam was released. Oh, Ginger with a soul, member for 8 months. I want to show my son your dogs. For some reason, he told me if I was a dog, I'd be an English bulldog. Kids are weird, but he's a big fan of Doggy and Yoda.
Aww.
Well, there you go. We're coming close. We're about 58 away. So cool.
Jeff, can I just commend you for using Daigi's Korean name instead of trying to westernize it and say strawberry?
But if you would have said S and Y, I would have said strawberry.
But that means that people know her as Daigi, which is just the cutest thing, and I love it.
Now, there's one more article about this that we want to get to, the plagiarizing, because we were all going, could she really have plagiarized that much of her story? Thank you again so much, Ginge, for that, for being here for 8 months, a supporter. Thank you. Well, here's the answer to that question. Could she possibly have plagiarized really as much as we thought? Wait, that's the wrong window to embiggen. There we go. Embiggen. There we go. We don't need to go through all this stuff here. He discovered the plagiarism. Email exchange. He goes, oh my gosh. So the question was, did she really plagiarize that much of the book? It seems she did. When Gordon compared the email from the BBC reporter with a 12-page portion of the preface to the book, which Hill claimed to have written, he realized Hill had plagiarized the reporter's words. Yes, she did plagiarize 12 pages. 12 pages there of her introduction. She couldn't even get into the body of the book without plagiarizing 12 fucking pages from somebody else.
I wish I could plagiarize like that. Like, if I could plagiarize motions like she plagiarizes books, I'd be a billionaire by now.
12 pages of the introduction were plagiarized. And see, notice how
That's
it wasn't
impressive.
from someone in the next county. Notice how it wasn't plagiarized from an article from CNN. It was from the BBC. It's like, oh, this was written in an article on the other side of the damn planet. Nobody will ever know I have stolen these words.
Like, I'm not even mad. I'm more so impressed. Like, how do you just steal excerpts that many from something else and apply it to your case or to your book? It just shamelessly, like, no qualification whatsoever. She should have at least put it in quotes for 12 pages.
Just 12 pages of italics and quotes.
It's all in quotes and it's all like small font,
Oh, no.
like single space.
Yeah.
Everybody can just read it as one giant excerpt.
Jojo with the $10 for the doggos. Thank you so much for the support. We're not supporting me, you're supporting the dogs, I guess. Whatever, I'll take it. Becky's a hoe name. Flux has to make sure we know that. Thank you so much, Jojo, putting us 48 away from Doggo Cam.
I will say this.
Yes.
Becky's, Meredith's, Martha's, like Martha Stewart, they're kind of freaks in bed. I'm just going to say that, okay? Like, come at me. I don't care. Like, they are kind of a little freaky. I'm just going to throw it out there. Ruth's. I see you, Ruth.
Yeah, all those biblical babes. The Marthas and the Ruths and the Beckys.
Yeah, just older names in general. Women with, like, typically stereotypical like grandma names, watch out for those ladies. They know where it's at.
Well,
cheers to you,
they're
ladies.
Unless they're the Utah grandma names.
Oh yeah.
LaDarl, Liddell,
Tanya,
LaTanya,
Sherry, Sherilyn.
So you got to put you put L.A. in front of old female Mormon names in Utah, and L.E. in front of LeVar, Laverne,
Letitia.
That's not a very
Utah there's
name.
Some good ones in the chat. Gertrude, Ethel, Lorene, Lurleen.
Nancy's not really a grandma name.
It's kind of aged. I could see that. Meryl, yeah, Meryl Streep for sure. LaFonda, 100%. Jeffo, definitely Jeffo. 100% Jeffo. Little whore right there.
LaFonda's my girlfriend.
LaFonda's my girlfriend.
Jeffo.
Jeff, you just bring me on to like reminisce about living in Utah.
Yeah. Come on. That's what I tell people. People are like, Napoleon Dynamite was Napoleon Dynamite was Tuesday.
That's a documentary.
It's a doc. Seriously, and I always say that egg eating scene. If the camera had panned an inch to the left, my aunt's old house in Franklin, Idaho, would have been in the movie. But nope.
Oh, Alma's a huge one. Alma for sure.
It's male or female.
Absolutely.
Jojo says Jeffo. And Improv Man with the $5 says support doggos or avoid the blizzard. I choose dogs. Well, they'll keep you warm in the winter anyway. Thus the title of the great band, 3 Dog Night. It's a 3 dog night. You need 3 dogs to keep you warm outside. Rogue Mama. I bought the book when I heard they were unpublishing it. One day I'll be able to say I own this rare book.
I love rare books. I absolutely love rare books. I'll have to buy it from you. Somebody said that their grandma's name is Ruth. My grandmother's name is Ruth too. And you know what? She told me she loved Jewish boys. That was her whole statement. Like that, she lived in New York, and she used to go up on the patio, according to her, like up on the rooftop, and she would wear low-cut shirts to try and attract Jewish boys. So Ruth, definitely freaky ladies. She was also married multiple times and was a black widow, and there's no love lost for talking about her this way. I promise.
Well, I come from good old long-term Mormon stock. My grandma was Lenora Delora.
Oh, Lenora! What a cute name.
No,
Delora.
Lenora Delora.
When
cute.
That
when
makes
I
me want to name my daughter Lenora Delora.
No, you don't.
Lee. Delora Lee. Oh my gosh, that's the best Utah name ever, Delora Lee.
When I confronted Becky about this, she admitted she plagiarized the passage due to deadline pressures. As a veteran journalist myself, I can't excuse her behavior. Well, the question is, are we going to get a new trial out of this? Because
yes,
these things are coming down to the wire here, and the ever unbiased and ever straightforward New York Post has some things to say about this. Shoot, this is good.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to give credit where credit's due. The New York Post, as I'm going through the Epstein logs, the New York Post is the only one doing deep dives and actually reporting on all of the names listed. So credit where credit's due. Good on them for that. Just going to throw that out there. Okay, continue.
Why Alex Murdaugh might actually get a redo on his murder conviction. Scroll. Carlton County. Damn it, this annoys the shit out of me. I've been able to tell when they call people a court clerk. She's a clerk of court, different animals.
Wait, Rebecca Hill, the difference?
The court clerk is the one that sits in there and does all the clerky sort of stuff. She's
the one that I email.
I don't know who you email.
Yeah, I email the court clerk all the time, and I'm like, hey, did you get this? Hey, we accidentally filed this. Hey.
The clerk of court, she's the wrangler. She's the one that makes sure the jurors get from point A to point B, that does all the scheduling and, she read the verdict, things like that. They're different animals.
Okay. Thank
you
for
an elected
clarification for me.
Clerk of court, Becky Hill. This is an elected position she's in.
It's elected?
Yes.
She ran for election?
Sure.
Wait, does that mean she has some kind of governmental immunity?
And that means she's got a government job, which may come back and crush her in the end, we hope.
Interesting.
She was once viewed as sweet homespun Miss Becky. Will be the focus of a 3-day hearing beginning January 29th in South Carolina to see if convicted double murderer Alex Murdaugh deserves a new trial. Lawyers for Murdaugh, now serving 2 consecutive life sentences for murdering his wife Maggie and son Paul, allege in their appeal that Hill tampered with the jury, steering them towards a belief that Murdaugh was guilty during the 6-week trial at the end of March. That ended on March 3rd, 2023. She's denied wrongdoing. Becky Hill is a narcissist who was in over her head and was pushing to get a hot book about the case out, while at the same time seemed to be crossing a lot of boundaries with the jurors. A longtime Hampton County native who knows most of the players on both sides of the Murdaugh trial told the Post, "Right now it looks as if some local yokels really monkeyed up that trial." The juror that was part of the monkeying of the trial actually worked at a monkey farm, so that's kind of cool.
Shut up.
Yeah, the one that was dismissed. That, I don't know if you remember, she left like a dozen eggs or something in the courtroom. She was the one that was dismissed right at the end. She actually works at a monkey farm in South Carolina.
That is hilarious, and I love that fact so much. I feel like the New York Post. The saddest thing about the New York Post is that it didn't exist during like the Jack the Ripper times and like historical events, because you know that it would have been the most entertaining read of your life. Like they have a way of wording things that just absolutely drag you into these. All right, continue.
If impropriety is shown at the hearing, the jurisprudence in South Carolina will want that corrected. It all looks very tainted right now. I don't want to think about taint and Becky in the same sentence. And my guess is that Murdaugh will get a do-over. Sorry to put all that in everybody's head there. Hill did not return a call for comment, you think? According to a pre-trial brief filed by Murdaugh's lawyers Wednesday, they don't even need to prove that Hill influenced them. Mr. Murdaugh does not need to show actual bias on the part of any juror to obtain a new trial, his attorneys wrote in the brief. If Mr. Murdaugh proves his allegations that Ms. Hill communicated with the jury about the evidence presented by the defense during his murder trial, South Carolina and federal law require that Mr. Murdaugh receive a new trial, irrespective of whether the court believes the outcome of the trial would have been the same had Ms. Hill's jury tampering not occurred. That's correct. They don't have to show that a new result or a different result would have been achieved. They just have to prove that something improper happened, not the effects of the impropriety, which I like. I like
that too. I actually really like that a lot, because I mean, obviously if you go to each juror, they're going to say, no, it didn't influence me at all, right? Because they came to the conclusion that they wanted based on the way that they were influenced. And so it's reconfirming a bias that was set there in the first place by the clerk. And so I think it's really helpful to just say, hey, look, if there's any signs or showing of impropriety, that's enough. And I think that makes sense.
And Island with the $5, she maneuvered to become clerk of court when they brought in the outside judge. So she was both court clerk and clerk of court for this case. Aha, I see. Well, all right. Fair enough. We'll give you that. Island. Pinochet's helicopter tours. Oh, Jefe, shoot me straight. In the event of Civil War Part 2, electrified boogaloo, do you stay in Korea or do you come to the States for the party? Ooh, I'll have to take that one under advisement because, you know.
Oh, nice, Jeff, what are you talking about? You know you're staying in Korea. Don't freaking act like you're going to come back here for the party.
I got family there. You gotta watch out for your family. Man.
If shit hits the fan here, I'm out. That's right, the rule. That's what I learned from your cases. Your Maritime Monday.
All right. Well, bring my son with you, and then we'll call it even. We'll set up camp here. Just make sure you pick him up on the way.
I will.
All right.
He's in Vegas, right? Like I'll just drive on by.
No, he's in Logan. He's in Logan.
Oh, really? Well, shit. I can't make guarantees then, but yeah, I'm heading out. If that shit happens, I'm out. Like there is no union for me to protect at that point. Peace. I'm a horrible person, I guess, but there's a reason that my family survived, and there's a reason that my family continues to survive. And there are so many Europeans whose family lines died multiple times throughout the centuries that my family has enjoyed the luxury of freedom. So, as the legendary song says, country folk will survive. Amen. All right. And speaking of surviving, we are now, what are we at? $17.28 away from Doggo Camp.
We're $15 away from Doggo Can. All right. State prosecutors filed their arguments Thursday, claiming the defense does have to prove that there was jury tampering and also that at least one juror was biased because of it. I don't think so.
If that's not what the law says, that ain't what the law says, sweetheart.
Yeah. Rebecca, Miss Becky Hill, is the court clerk for Colleton County. Her alleged improper communication with jurors will be the subject of a hearing late this month to see if Alex Murdaugh gets a new trial because of it.
I don't want to be judgmental, but that is not the most attractive group of individuals I've seen in a while. Wait, are they jurors? I take it back. All lovely individuals.
Yes, those are some jurors.
Well, what the hell is she doing sitting with jurors? So she's accused of jury tampering, and then she's like, "Oh, you guys want to take a picture together on the Today Show? Let's do that."
Yeah, this is after. She got them a Today Show gig, and they all went to the Today Show the day after the.
All right, respectfully,
trial.
She gets what she deserves.
What also could come during the evidentiary hearing is whether insert jokes here, is whether the one juror who had widely believed to be a lone holdout against voting to convict Murdaugh was improperly removed from the jury. That's the egg lady who worked at the monkey farm. That's just the greatest sentence ever. The monkey lady, the egg lady that worked at the monkey farm, just hours before they began deliberations. The controversy removal of the so-called egg lady juror, given that nickname because she was asked if she could retrieve a carton of eggs when the judge told her she was dismissed in South Carolina, folks.
You know what? God bless her soul. Just bless her. I just think that's so sweet. Sorry. Eggs, for those who forgot, especially here in the United States, anyone who's overseas may not get this. Eggs were a very, very highly sought after commodity during 2020, 2021 because of an egg shortage that may or may not have been like artificially inflated by the US government's requirement that farmers who were being subsidized destroy their eggs. But that's a whole nother discussion. All I'm going to say is that eggs were missing. Eggs held a premium. That's so sweet of the egg lady juror. That's all I'm going to say.
If that guy's a chubby chaser, he's living the dream. No, Garrett. That's 5 minutes in the penalty box. That's 5 minutes for instigating. Get to the penalty box. That's 5 minutes in the penalty box for you. Just Don, soulless ginger, says, woof. Okay, there we go. Hey. That's all we need. It's late, ladies and germs. If you're not familiar with what goes on around here, all 406 of you that are hanging out with the 359 likes, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure you're still here and all of that. Oh, and by the way, take our like and subscribe poll too. Is Becky, in fact, a hoe name? 85% say yes, 15% say no. To the 15% of the Beckys in chat, I told you you're specifically excluded from there. But it's that time that we all do when we hit the magic number, when we unlock the achievement, which we call and wait, not you. Where'd you go? Here we go. Boom, there we go. It's dog days. There we go. We got Yoda on the left and Doggy / Strawberry on the right. Aww. They are alive. They are breathing. They're not dead. This is just them in their active mode. You should see them when they're lazy. You can sure.
All right, let me procure my dog. Give me one moment. Although he scratched my eyeball the other night while I was trying to cut his nails. He was really upset, and we were like goofing off, and I was trying to cut his nails after we goofed off because he kept he's hilarious. So when I went to cut his front paws, he would paw me in the face like, "Mom, stop." And then, of course, I was like, "No, I'm not going to stop." Where you tickle your dog. And then he kept scratching, but then I got too close and I wasn't wearing my glasses like an idiot. So
and then to tear your face off. Back. Yeah. All right. Well, we will read Pinochet's helicopter tours super chat. Thank you so much. Not everyone is needed for a revolution. Someone just needs to stay out of the way when it comes to the law. Inter arma enim silent legis. Just saying. Latin in the morning. And Dojo, Jeff, were you on Megan's channel talking about meth monkeys? What? No. Would these be from the monkey farm? I wasn't talking about meth monkeys. Well, apparently the monkey farm was like a research monkey farm. What's up, Oon?
Oh, it was like a Fauci farm?
Oh, dear. Yeah. Hey, what's up?
He's being violent. He was barking outside waiting to come in, and now
it's me, bro. It's me, bro. Hey, remember you like me? You like me so much you pissed on the floor. You were so excited to see me.
Look right there.
What's up?
Who is that?
What's up, Un? Un?
Who's that?
He hears your voice and
Yeah.
he's so confused because the speakers are like on the floor.
That's why he's looking down. Anyway, that's Un up there, and we've got Strawberry / Dargy and Yoda here on the floor next to me. So, all right. Thank you so much for unleashing Doggo Cam upon the masses today.
Yay.
Monopoly dog. Yes, he is a Monopoly dog.
Oh, your dogs are so cute. Look how cute they are laying on the ground. They're all sleepy.
Well, that's because that black object on the right is a space heater turned on high, and they're just chilling in the. Yeah, hey, it's a bitey Monopoly dog.
I told you he's violent. Say goodbye. He also looks like Schmeagol right now because we had to trim his legs. Look at his little pencil legs. He's really ashamed. But we had to because he gets like snow mats in his fur and the snow won't come off his legs. And so I was like, if you're going to play in the snow, because he does love the snow, we had to cut his fur. Okay, are you ready to go out? Say goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, everybody. Say bye-bye. Good job. Good job. All right, give me kisses.
Vodka Blood says, get them a proper bed, Jeff. Their proper bed is
me.
Their proper bed is my sofa in the living room. These dogs have a better sofa than I do. They got a $4,000 leather sofa. This is just if you buy them like the little the padded dog beds and things, they just pee on them. They're not allowed to have nights because they just pee on their bed.
Your dogs do pee quite a bit.
The only place they don't pee is on the sofa, so that's their bed. All right. Well, let's continue here. We've got I've got 22 more minutes, and then we've got to run because I have to get on a train to Seoul.
Where are you going? Wait, why are you going to Seoul?
Because last time I was there with Andrew, Legal Mindset, and we drank a copious amount, I left my debit card in one of the bars, and they won't send it to me. So for the last month and a half, every time I need to do a cash withdrawal, I have to use a cash advance on my credit card, and it's starting to get annoying. So
that is so bizarre because you would think like TechBay is so cheap and affordable in Korea. You could just pay them.
But the TechBay services close before the bar opens.
I'd be annoyed. I'm so sorry.
Well, I am annoyed. So it's going to cost me like $150 to go up and get my debit card, and I could just get a new one, but I have about 95 automatic transactions linked to that thing, and I don't want to have to. I would rather pay the money to take the train rather than to go through the headache of changing all of my automatic deductions.
I frankly do not blame you one bit. Also, Eileen, you are exactly right. She comes in, she says, when you have to shave a schnauzer's legs, you're not allowed to speak of it. It's the rules. Absolutely true. Yeah, it's almost like they're naked.
Soul Train on the way up. We got the Soul Train on the way up, and then the train to Busan coming down. So
I love that train. I am so jealous that you get to ride you're not taking there. Is there a KTX that goes directly to Busan? Like a high speed KTX. I mean, like the high speed train, the bullet train. I've never ridden it to Busan. Don't give me that face. I've only taken the high speed train from freaking Jeonju to Seoul. You're looking at me funny. Don't do that.
I am. That's the whole point of the KTX, to get you between Busan and Seoul quickly. And then it was the West Coast.
But I mean, like the bullet train KTX.
Yes.
Oh. Well, I like the
those
slow
are the two
train
main
KTX
stops in the
because it like meanders through Myeryang, and it just makes me think of the Arirang Chukje, and it makes me happy.
Take the last train to Busan. I'll meet you at the station. Unless it's Danny, she doesn't think there is a train station in Busan.
No, I know there's a train station. Jeff, don't tease me. I know that there's a train station.
Remember, I was saying that you and Mr. On should have taken that rather than drive.
Well, and we did. We took your advice on that one, but then we didn't take your advice on going to Tongyong after, which we should have. We should have just stayed another night in Busan. But whatever.
I agree. Yeah, well, let's continue here.
Let's continue.
All right. So she got the nickname because she tried to retrieve a carton of eggs after the juror told her to take a hike. involves Hill because of an alleged incriminating Facebook post by the juror's ex-husband that Hill claims to have seen, but which he hasn't been able to prove ever existed, which I think has been pretty conclusively proven to never have existed in the first place. The email suggests that Hill seemingly played favorites with reporters, offering some special access, and that she worked and promoted her book on the government's dime.
Like
Hill's
you
already,
do.
yeah. Hill had already been battling 2 ethics complaints about her, including one involving the work she did on her book while at work. In addition, her son, Jeffrey Hill, 34, who had been the head of IT for Colleton County, was arrested in November for allegedly wiretapping conversations on the job. And again, as we read about in the earlier articles, he was specifically accused of wiretapping the office so that he could listen in on discussions about his mother, Becky Hill's investigations. So he wanted to follow the investigations against mom and relay the information to mom, so he wiretapped lines, allegedly. The clerk also sent emails directly to prosecutors and law enforcement witnesses for the state during the trial about merits of testimony from defense witnesses. Murdaugh's attorneys Dick Harpootlian, Jim Griffin, Philip Barber, and Margaret Fox wrote in the brief. Some emails are withheld from the media, but are expected to come out at a pre-trial public status hearing on January 16th before the 3-day session starts on January 19th. Lots of pictures. Things got even worse for Hill 2 weeks ago when, as a result of the emails, it was discovered that she had also plagiarized 12 pages. I'd say that goes a little bit on parts. When I think parts, I think a paragraph here and there, not 12 pages in the introduction of Behind the Doors of Justice, The Murdaugh Murders, her memoir about the trial. She admitted to plagiarism, and the book is being pulled. What?
Just could you imagine picking up any article, book, or publication and just reading it and be like, this is good shit. I'm just gonna make the entire, like, at least 12 pages of my book just this.
12 pages. That's a lot of book. That's a lot of book. Baby got book. But South Carolina's highly respected 80-year-old former Chief Justice Jean H. Toll, who will be overseeing she's a Jean or Jean, or anyway, who knows, will be overseeing the hearing of the Richland County Courthouse, may also get an earful about the often highly charged media and legal circus around the case, which some say has long influenced the narrative surrounding Alex Murdaugh. A cottage industry of lawyers, bloggers, journalists, and podcasters sprang up in the aftermath of the sensational and brutal slayings of Maggie Murdaugh, 52, and her son Paul, 22, at their country estate in Islandton, South Carolina on June 21, and with many monetizing the scandal via books, TV appearances, and even merchandise. You mean kind of like you're doing, New York Post, by writing about it and selling advertisement? Everybody's monetizing it. Yeah, don't say that part out loud, right?
Yeah, don't say that part out loud, Jeff.
I always hate when they talk about the YouTubers and the bloggers. And does anyone blog anymore? Is that still a thing?
I don't, because I love the hypocrisy. I feed off Hippocratic souls. Like this brings me much pleasure. So continue.
Yeah. So I mean, I just love that the mainstream media accuses people of monetization and making money off of it. Well, if you weren't making money off of it, you wouldn't be covering it. So I love when people accuse the right of being in favor of like racist policies while they're also like in favor of segregation policies where they're like, no, minorities sit here. You're not allowed to sit here. Like anything like that. I love hypocrisy. It cracks me up. I enjoy it. I love life. That's my point. Jeff, enjoy this. I will. Tilly says, Legal Vices, you can tell us all about Hooker Hill. Deplorable minds want to know. I've done lots of videos about Hooker Hill there in Itaewon.
You've done a few videos. You've talked to me at least twice on live where we've talked about this.
I'll take a picture and post it to Twitter later, because I will be at the base of Hooker Hill, because there's an incredible pizza shop right at the bottom. They sell like pizza by the slice for dirt cheap. It's amazingly good. So that's going to be the last thing I do before I head to the train station, is have a slice of pizza there. So I'll snap a pic. Ooh, that's what I do. You go there. There's a great restaurant that sells some amazing kebabs. Go get like a kebab, and then do my stuff, recover my card, grab some pizza, and head back to Busan's. I'll snap a pic. It's kind of sad and desolate because they're gentrifying the area now, but whatevs. One is Eric Bland. The people who are monetizing and merchandising. See, Bland is I do not like Eric Bland at all. He's distasteful. One is Eric Bland, 61. He looks pretty good for a 61-year-old dude, though. I'll give him that.
Does he? Show me
Columbia's,
a picture.
it's not worth it.
Does he look better than Alan Dershowitz? Because my next stream at 9 o'clock, where I'm going to duck out, is all about how unattractive Alan Dershowitz is.
Wow.
Because I'm drunk, and that will bring me joy. And I need a little joy in my life.
All right. He's an attorney specializing in legal and medical malpractice who represents 4 Murdaugh trial jurors, the sons of Gloria Satterfield. The Murdaugh, and see, he gave a very, very impassioned, and as much as I dislike him, at the sentencing for the financial crimes hearing, he did give a very, very good speech on behalf of the family of his housekeeper that died, and he stole the $4 million from them. The Murdaugh housekeeper who died under mysterious circumstances in their home, and even Sandy Smith. The latter is the mother of Stephen Smith, the young gay man found dead on a rural road not far from the Murdaugh's home in 2015. Bland was called out in the brief filed Wednesday for being a publicity-seeking lawyer, in part because he wants to be included in this month's Murdaugh hearing since he represents 4 jurors. Bland fired back. Here we go. There he is.
All right. He's not unattractive.
There's EB.
Yeah.
Bland fired back with a kind answer that has become the norm, especially between the armies of Murdaugh murder aficionados online who feud with each other regularly. Oh dear, he's got his own.
Oh my gosh, there is merchandise.
Oh dear,
that's more merchandise than I think that the Kyle Rittenhouse or Johnny Depp case got.
Yeah, this is reason 847 why I don't like Bland now. My only response is that my partner and I continue to live rent-free in Murdaugh attorney Dick Harpootlian's head, Bland told the Post. But I find it rich that Dick Poon is talking about publicity-seeking lawyers when there isn't a microphone or a television camera he won't pander to. He really is a grasping attorney at this point. Sad, just reinforces the notion that lawyers should expire like yogurt.
But
see, that's unprofessional.
Isn't yogurt already fermented? I'm confused.
Kind of.
All right,
yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, but see, that's the kind of lawyer back and forth shit that I don't like. You know,
I don't.
That's just
I think
unprofessional
that's
and it demeans you and it demeans the profession and it makes you look like a jackass.
Unless you're making fun of Alan Dershowitz, who may or may not have had sex with girls on Epstein's Island. That's fine.
Which is something she's not going to talk about on my stream.
Nope. Nope. I am committing YouTube suicide right before, self-deletion.
Bland, who co-opts the great Rush Limbaugh's initials and calls himself EB online, also co-hosts 2 podcasts, The Excellent in Broadcasting, made famous by Rush Limbaugh. He has to have the EB online. Co-hosts 2 podcasts, True Sunlight and Cup of Justice, with Mandy Matney and their colleague Liz Farrell under the umbrella of Luna Shark Media, which charges its roughly 3,000 premium members $15 a month. He began appearing on TV regularly once he got the Satterfields as clients. Bland's media.
What are we doing? We need to up our game.
I know. Ugh. She's just pandering to the camera. That's just her. Everything that she does, including talking about Dershowitz, is just pandering to the camera. Cult leader.
Damn straight.
Yeah, she's
Absolutely
a cult leader.
Right.
She's a cult leader.
It's
Danielle's a cult leader.
Unabashed cult leader here, right here. Continue.
Let's see if that gets us 3,000 subscribers of $15 a month.
Hey, it may.
I doubt it, but it doesn't hurt to try. Bland's media profile has grown to the point where he hosts an occasional Twitter series called Get to Know EB plus Renee with his wife and sells merchandise such as the EB bobblehead doll, t-shirts with phrases like lawyer up and mugs reading,
does anyone watch that?
What? The world has too many dicks, need more EBs.
I want to know, okay, chat, anybody, I want to know who's watching this. I want to know. I'm really curious.
Oh, dude has a cameo.
He's can get a charging more for his cameos than freaking Rose McGowan.
You can get a personalized video of him on Cameo for $50. Oh my Lord. Dude, I'm gonna start doing Cameo because if even one person pays me $50 to make a 10-second, hey, insert name here. I'm so happy that you're a follower, and if I get $50 for that, hell, I'm doing it. Bland's representation of Sandy Smith that began last March means he has had some oversight of a GoFundMe established in March to pay for the cost of exhuming Stephen's body for a second independent autopsy. The GoFundMe raised more than $130,000 in just days before it was shut down, and a scholarship fund was established in its place. It is a donor-advised fund, which means it is sponsored by a larger organization and therefore impossible to find out how much money has been donated. Smith told the Post this week that people are still donating to the scholarship fund.
Are you effing kidding me? For what? For what? Have they exhumed? They've exhumed his body, right? For an additional autopsy?
I believe so.
Okay, so then what scholarship? I want to see where the money went.
Oh.
I'm really intrigued now. Okay, keep going, Jeff. Sorry.
She said she has not been notified of the results of the second autopsy, despite organizing and funding it, and adding that she and Bland were told to turn over the reports to SLED. Murdaugh's longtime lawyer, Harpootlian, said the online circus has been an ongoing issue before, during, and after Alex Murdaugh's murder trial. The new element here is social media and podcasts. I've never seen anything like it, said ancient old Dick Poon, who doesn't understand modern media, told the Post they take on a life of their own where everyone becomes an expert, whether they have qualifications or not. Ooh, there's 46 comments. Guilty or not, the behavior of the overzealous clerk does warrant a retrial. My man, Rusty Shackelford knows what's up. I don't care if he's found guilty again. I have zero ponies in the circus. I got zero monkeys. I give zero fucks. I just think he needs a new trial because this was shady AF. If there was jury tampering, he gets a new trial. Well, thank you very much. I don't think it will change anything, but you never know. First, it has to be determined that old Becky was just saying things she shouldn't have been. Some of the jurors said she was, some said she wasn't, etc., etc. So yeah, it's the Post. So there's probably not going to be a lot of super pro Becky posts there. But what I've got 7 minutes before I have to shut this down. So we got 7 minutes to just sit, chill, and do our thing. Danny, give us a little bit of a grift in our remaining time here.
Oh, I'm grifting? Okay, awesome. Yeah, you guys come and subscribe to my channel. I'm leaving my job temporarily so that I can build my YouTube channel and my YouTube cred and just enjoy, streaming cases. I'll be streaming the live hearings, obviously, of everything that's related to Murdaugh. Everything that's related to any case moving forward that anyone may be interested in. My goal is to live stream the heck out of that because it's a hell of a lot better than dealing with family law cases day in and day out. Except I did leave one of my I left one of my clients today and I actually cried, which sort of shocked me. I had an angel of a client, which is very rare to come across. It's one of those clients where you would have done pro bono work for them, but you're too poor to. So I'm really, really grateful, really, really grateful for them as a client. And yeah, come and check out Danny on Direct. It's a ton of fun. That's it.
It's 2 tons of fun. There's like so much fun. You have to times everything by 2 over there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially tonight. I'm streaming right after Jeff. So I'm going to be talking about Alan Dershowitz and how much of a dirtbag I personally think he is and whether or not, he may have done what he's accused of doing, not by just Virginia Roberts, but by other witnesses as well. So come and have a good time. And I told you, Jeff, that one of my professors in law school was Paul Cassell, who is named as a litigant in this case. And we'll talk about why they settled. Oh, yeah, because Alan Dershowitz wasn't satisfied with filing a counterclaim against his accusers. No, he had to go after his accuser's attorney, including Paul Cassell, my old criminal law professor. So if you guys are interested in that, come and check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. Also, Direct is not my last name, but On is my last name. So it's just a fun play on my last name.
I'm trying to think what Cassell taught me. I think it was First Amendment.
Oh, really?
No,
you had the pleasure of having Paul Cassell as your professor as a law student?
It was before it was like right before he became a federal judge.
Oh, it was before his judge time. After. Okay, wow. Because what he's most famous for is trying to claw back mandatory minimums because he had to follow the mandatory minimum sentencing schedule on a lot of cases. And it was so heartbreaking to him that he went around the country trying to change mandatory minimums. He also implemented victims' rights advocacy and victims' rights, the Bill of Rights, throughout the states. And that's actually how Epstein ended up getting arrested and brought back for trial, is because his non-prosecution agreement was based on the premise that all the victims would be notified of that, and not all the victims were notified of that. So that's why he was rearrested. Rearrested was directly as a result of Paul Cassell's work. Now, that non-prosecution agreement was directly a result of Alan Dershowitz's work. So those two were longtime foes, just waiting to clash. So
we are now set up to redirect to Danny when we shut this down. So everybody will be automatically redirected over to Danny's stream when we wrap this up in about 3 minutes. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, Danny and I are homies. We went to the same law school, had a few of the same professors. Mine were just a lot younger before she had them as professors. Like a lot, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we went to the same law school, know the same peeps, hang out the same. And she's got the Salt Lake City there, State Street view down State Street from above the Capitol, right there behind her. Beautiful, beautiful thing to see. As for me, hit that like and subscribe button. We're wrapping it up with 85% of you say yes, Becky is a hoe name. And thank you for everybody that hit the like button. We got 363 here now, 392 likes. We unleashed Doggo Cam. It's been an all-around resounding success. What are we looking at here? 21 hours anyway. Probably. No. It'll be Sunday morning U.S. time. I'll be doing a members-only stream. Monday will be Maritime Monday. We're going to be talking about we're going to be revisiting the Penley lifeboat disaster. That was an absolute, just amazing display of heroics on the part of a lifeboat crew. Tuesday, we're going to be deep diving some more of the I got pregnant by twins because I gave a guy 2 blowjobs case of Clayton Eckerd and Jane Doe. Going to be deep diving some documents in that case. That messed up case. Wednesday, we're going to be having Greg Anderson, Maya Kowalski's lawyer, for a couple of hours for a sit down. Thursday is OJ with Chandler Remington. And next Friday is Legal Vice's Lady Bits F-It Friday with our amazing, amazing panel of some amazing, amazing women guests. We've got some strong, opinionated women, and it's going to be good. And there's no boys allowed, only me. And I will be on my best behavior.
And Jeff, I'll be there too. That's what I meant by my original text to you.
Oh, okay.
Was that I've changed my mind and I will be there next Friday.
You didn't say I changed my mind. I was just minding my own business and I got this. I've decided to join your stream. That's all I'm now. Okay.
I meant next Friday, but
all
I'm
right.
Delighted that you had me on this evening. Thank you.
Well, here is the rundown for the Legal Vices Lady Bits Ladies Night Boozy Griftathon January 2024 F-It Friday. We have Danny on direct. We have Flux, Lauren De Laguna, Steph the Altar Nerd, Chandler Remington, Ari Jacob, Not Radix, Verum Christina, Talk with Sally, Surly Durley, also known as Waifu Kron Jess, AV to the 7th Power, Lady Law 5791, Jasmine Jafar, and comedian Lila Hart. That's who we've got lined up so far. It's going to be an amazing thing. Bring all of your money, throw it all at me. I will get liquored up and we can talk to some ladies.
Very fun.
That's it. That's going to get us through the next week. And all right, with that, I do have to change my clothes and run to the train station. And Danny's got a stream starting right now. Danny on direct, thank you so much for joining. Mods, thank you for being here, doing your moddy things. Doggos, thank you so much for just being doggos. And ladies and germs, thank you so much for being here in chat. The Vice Squad, Legal Vices chat is the best chat on planet Earth. And with that, let's give you the new outro. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are we doing? It is time. It's time for a new trial. I've been keeping this one a little bit close to the vest. Defense made a motion for a mistrial. Prosecutor was up to some fuckery. Potentially damaging evidence. No basis for it. The judge specifically said, do not ask that question. Do not use that as evidence. She walked right down the path and asked the question. It may be over on Tuesday morning. Batman Bruce Wayne bitch snitch. Gerald Brooks.